What's up, print fam? Welcome back to the print shop. Today, we're going to try to get part of the DTF assembled. I finally got access to the masterclass that explains the setup because there was no manual. The first video I didn't watch. The second video was uncrating. I also didn't watch. You're supposed to keep the crate. So if you buy one of these, don't do what I do. Don't destroy it and keep it. The third one is assembling the base. It was funny because in the video they say that the screws are not labeled, which I commented on and laughed. I labeled them all and have set them out on the table. I will show you them, and then we're going to attempt to assemble the base together by myself. I don't know how it will go. But let me show you the screws first. So we do have a pile of extra screws. I'm assuming that's for the ink trays and everything else. But first step is wheels. So we have 16 wheel screws. So there are only 3 different types of screws. We have the ones for the wheels plus a few extras. We have the ones for basically everything except for the tubes, which those are long. So we have 16 wheel screws, 12 leg screws, 14 cross brace screws, 10 roll arms, which I don't know why I labeled it that, but it's the arm that holds the material. And then we have the steel tube stop, which is basically to just make sure they don't move, kind of like the take-up reel. Then we have the printer mounts that attach to the legs, and then the printer itself. We will not be doing this step right now because I'm by myself. Basically, step number 1 is take a foot and mount 2 wheels to it. So there's 4 screws per foot or base or whatever you want to call this. So that's the first thing that we're going to do, is we're going to screw this into place. It is the only Phillips head, but it was also a nut head, probably a 10 millimeter. So I will get this set up, we'll get it installed, and then the next step is the leg. Okay, step number 2 is to attach the leg to the base. 6 screws. These appear to be universal. They've got screws on both sides and they seem to be identical, so hopefully that doesn't cause a problem. The only thing I did notice is there's less space here than there is here. I don't know if that matters. I will try to see if I can find it in the video to let you know if it does. But now that you've seen me screw in one thing, I'm not going to make you wait and watch me screw everything else in. But this one is the second type of screw, which is a Allen hex head, so you'll need a different bit. The smaller gap is for the front of the machine, so this is where you will want to install the cross brace, is on this side, and then the media roll holder will go on the back side. So just in case you're wondering, leave the bigger gap at the back, smaller gap in the front. So now we're going to install this. You've got 4 screws here on the front and then 3 screws on the inside. So do the front first on both legs and then the inside. Same screw, 14 of them. The front screws on the arm brace, these ones, they were by far the hardest to get in, but now also only the back screw lines up. The 2 in the front do not, so I'm only going to be able to put 1 screw in. They literally, there's no bending, prying, because this is flush, this is flush. I cannot get those screws in. So hopefully between the front and 1 screw on each side, it'll be sufficient. Now the next part screw down. The next part we're installing is the roll arm, or the media holder. Just make sure it's got this like weird holder at the top. Make sure you mount it on the inside. So there's one on each side. Make sure you mount it on the inside. There are screws that you could reverse this and put it on the outside. It goes on the inside. There are 5 screws per side, 10 screws total. The next part is putting the steel rods through these 2 holes. You do need to put the take-up or media reel on at the same time. Just, they are labeled, so this one is right. So if you're standing behind it, the right side of the machine is the correct orientation. So basically, while you thread the rod on, which are these things, you need to go through this hole and through this, which I have to undo that screw or it's not going to work. But basically, thread it through, take up reel style. We'll see if I can manage this. So we gotta get that one. I don't know if you can see, but you gotta loosen this. Get this one through. That was terrible sound. And then center the rod, and then you use the 4 long screws to hold it in place once you get both of them in place. Now the last part that I can do myself is the printer mount. So basically we put those here that screw in on each side of the leg, and then this bottom part is where the printer will mount to, so I can get these on, but I am not going to attempt to put the DTF on the stand by myself. We have officially got the stand together. Now I didn't do the bolts holding the printer flange on tight. They're loose so that as soon as we set the printer on, we can get it in place and then tighten those up. Hopefully tomorrow we can get it over where it goes, get the printer on top of it, and get to the next steps. I'm assuming the rest of the screws are for the next process to get everything else set up and going. Now, the masterclass comes with the printer. So when you buy the printer, the masterclass comes with it. There was probably a little bit of heartache with my situation because they did provide the printer to me as a demo unit that I could make some content for you and see how it works, give you my opinion of it. So they did provide the printer for free. It is on loan to me. It is not mine, but you'll probably have less heartache getting into the masterclass than I did. Again, the masterclass is included, but hopefully seeing these instruction videos and watching them will help you determine if you want to buy it. Wasn't terrible. Did it take some time? Yes. But again, it wasn't bad. I would suggest a drill over the included Allen wrenches. Made it go significantly faster, and it doesn't hurt your hands as much. So come back, we'll get the rest of it set up. We still have the powder machine somewhere. I don't even know where it went. It is missing. Now I'm concerned. Oh, it's under the printer. It's like, oh no, I lost it. So we got the powder unit, we'll get the printer set up, and we'll get to the rest of getting it up and running. And as soon as we have it up and running, we'll have transfers available that we'll run them for you. You can test them, see if you like them. We'll go from there. So thanks as always, print fan, and we'll see you in the next one.